Hello everyone, today I'm going to share about the basics of life insurance. If you're starting or you have been already in this product or solution for some years and you want to review some knowledge and a recap, this is for you. So this is a primer for beginners with all its foundations. By the way, this is Brian. I am a policyholder of insurance and I am also a licensed financial advisor or insurance advisor under the Insurance Commission of the Philippines. So ano ba yung life insurance? Strip off everything of its pleasantries and what is left, yan po yung definition kung ano ang life insurance. So I define it as a financial solution first of all. It's financial in nature, no other aspects. It pertains to money, and then it's a solution. It tries to solve a problem. It's there to help. And then it's designed to protect individuals or families against financial hardships. So pinoprotektahan niya ang financial aspect first and foremost of the families or the dependents. And then it can also be individuals from financial hardship. So yung mga problema, sakuna, crisis na pwedeng mangyari sa isang pamilya o sa isang individual, life insurance tries to solve that. In the event, kailan ba? No, in the event of death. So pag namatay yung insured, kita natin dito the person insured, then that's the solution when the solution comes in. Ano bang rason? Because number one, death is sure. Of course, no one lives immortally, eternally in this earth, and then life is uncertain. Whether we like it or not, you may be or someone may look healthy for now, but then you will be suddenly surprised that in the next day he or she is gone. Of course, sad to say. Unfortunately, with all sadness, we refer to personalities or even celebrities, YouTube vloggers na pinapanood mo dati and then all of a sudden here comes a day na wala na siya. So life is uncertain. We must be humble enough to acknowledge that. Health is uncertain as well. We can be very healthy. We can be gym fit for now. And then, health can be at risk at tomorrow. We don't know. Tomorrow is another day. We don't know about tomorrow, as what the song says. We don't know. I don't know about tomorrow. It may bring me liberty. It may bring me other things. Dependents are a reality. So whether we like it or not, we will most probably have dependents. So sabihin mo, ay magiging single ako for life or hindi ako magkaroon ng anak for sure. Well, you might have parents, right? You might have brothers or siblings. You might have adopted children someday because someone may be in need of your adoption, something like that. And then you also have to, by the way, acknowledge na death is sure and life is short. And then as what you've said, the Bible says that it is appointed unto man once to die. There's an appointment. And of course, financially, we have to be prepared, but also eternally and spiritually, we have to also be prepared. Through Jesus Christ, we can have eternal life. Through Jesus Christ alone, we can be forgiven and in the sight of God be justified and not declared a sinner. And then He can accept us in His presence. So that's just a segue. So kailan ba magiging helpful or magiging beneficial itong life insurance? Well, many people say hindi ko naman kailangan yan. Of course, hindi mo siya kailangan right away. That's why it's called insurance. You are buying the possibility, the risk. You are buying you are paying for the risk that in case it might happen. So ano yung mga it na yan? Ito yung mga benefits, income replacement. So ano yung it in case of death, right? So there's a picture here of a father, mother, and then a child, assuming that the father is the breadwinner and the mother focuses at the home, so they don't hire a servant or a maid. They don't they just attend their time. She gives all her time to the child in rearing the child without a maid. So the father works 100% of the time, the mother 100% at home. So pag mamatay itong si father or ang tatay, this life insurance can serve as an income replacement, and it cannot really be for life, until magtumanda itong bata, but somehow a certain period of time that the dependents can transition, can survive that period, such as, for example, education of the child until makatapos siya ng senior high, for example, or a help for the wife to transition also, maybe until to find another person or to establish the family expenses. And then also we have intangible benefits. First and foremost, ito yung peace of mind, no? Meron kang somehow guarantee in your mind, in your heart, that when you pass away as a breadwinner, those who will be left behind will not be really be neglected or be left wanting. And then remaining obligations. Of course, hindi may iwasan na as you incur debts through time, so that you can, for example, home, no? Hindi naman pwedeng i-cash mo. May mga times na may mga tao hindi naman nila kayang i-cash talaga, no? Or di kaya yung sasakyan, motor, or di kaya mga appliance, mga ganon. Di kaya mga emergencies, like pag nagkasakit na hospital, hindi kayo nakabayad, meron kayong payment or billing sa hospital na payables, no? And then death-related costs such as burial, medicines na sa ICU, for example, na critical, no? And then estate tax for the house to be transferred sa anak or sa wife or sa anyone there, you need to pay estate tax. And then transition or education. So this is also very important na makatapos itong anak, so that the family can be established. No? Mas mahirap na the child will be forced to stop. It's because walang panggastos. It's because walang magsusustain sa kanyang schooling. So that's where life insurance can help. And then, beyond the basics, meron tayong mga variations or add-ons to life insurance. So, living benefits, ito yung mga benefits na makukuha mo as a policy owner or maybe an insured, such as fund value. Sa mga variations na tinatawag nating VUL, which we will discuss in a bit, meron kang cash, parang bangko rin siya or parang savings din siya, no? Health insurance, ito yung makuha mo while you are still alive, in the case na ma-diagnose ka ng critical illness or di kaya ma-hospital ka. So depending on your policy or life insurance, you will enjoy somehow these coverage or these benefits. And then accidental, ito naman sa kabila ay mga death benefits, or hindi ibig sabihin hindi naman lahat, no, but itong 1 and 2, 1 and 4, like accidental death, this adds up to the benefit of your family or the beneficiaries in case mamatay itong insured. Sa group naman, this is most likely pertaining to one of the group members, let's say employees or students sa school namatay, makukuha ang itong amount, certain amount, in the case of death. Disability naman, hindi naman siya in the sense na mamamatay talaga, but permanently unable to work. Maybe because of a sickness, maybe because of an accident, may makukuha ka ring benefits. Dismemberment, makukuha mo yung 100 or up to 100% if a member of your body will be decapitated, will be, let's say, deactivated, let's say your eyes, you will be blinded. Of course, you will somehow be impaired to function in your day-to-day activities. So life insurance can come in, or as an add-on, it can come into your life or to your situation and provide help. Okay, so some terminologies to take note so that we can understand better. Number one is insurer. Insurer is the company, in most cases, it is the company that provides the terms and the agreement and the benefits. Okay? In the Philippines, meron tayong iba't ibang mga insurers or insurance company. Some examples are Sun Life, Philam Life, AXA, and then there are new emerging players such as FWD or Forward. We also have some Filipino native or organic companies such as Coco Life and others. And they also have policy. So policy for a while. Policy is the document that details the terms and conditions of a contract of insurance. So ito yung papel, ito yung, so ngayon it can be a PDF, maybe in the future, it can be a instrument kung saan nakatakda, nakasulat lahat ng mga important details such as kung sinong covered, kung sinong owner, nagbabayad, or sino yung mga beneficiaries, and ano yung mga benefits na i-offer ni insurer sa kay insured or sa owners or sa parties. By the way, itong insurer, they must be regulated by the government or registered in the government, and in the Philippines we have the Insurance Commission. Okay, so I'll tell you later how to make sure that they are legit. So ano yung mga pwedeng gawin. Next is owner. Policy owner can be different sa insured. Okay, the person buying or paying for the life insurance policy is the owner. Okay, siya yung may pera, siya yung may kaya. Ang insured, it can be the same as the owner, but it can also be different from the owner. So let's say owner is the mother and the insured is the child. It can also be the owner is a child and the insured is the mother. Especially pag professional na tong si anak and then si parent is senior. Okay? Beneficiaries, ito yung person or persons chosen to receive the insurance proceeds upon the death of the insured. Okay? They can be a natural person or a juridical person such as a charity, such as a church or an organization. Pwede yan. So, pwede siyang assign sa isang personality na hindi natural or hindi person. And then, they're usually first degree or second degree family members by consanguinity, ibig sabihin descendants, anak, apo, ascendants, parents, or affinity by the first degree which is spouse. Okay? And then by the way, hindi rin pwedeng basta-basta sino na lang ang beneficiaries. There must be a hierarchy, there must be a pattern na i-follow. Hindi pwedeng ma-beneficiary ang hindi talaga relative or consanguinity or affinity because of the logic na pwede kang ipapatay. Something like that. So face amount naman is the promised amount stated in the policy as payable under a life insurance policy. So nakatakda ito, nakasulat ito dito sa policy. Okay? And then ibibigay ito ni insurer as long as magbabayad si owner. And in the event of whatever risk happens to insured. Okay, and then stipulations, it contains also the stipulations provided in the contract. Premium naman is the payment, the money paid by the policy owner, okay, as payment to the insurer, okay, in order to make the policy in force. Okay, and then it can be annually, semi-annually, quarterly, and even monthly. Okay, it's cheaper. Of course, it's a given rule. It's a known rule na pag kukuha ka ng life insurance, your premium is cheaper than those of a higher age. So let's say yung face amount ni 20-year-old is 1 million, okay? And then kumuha rin si 50-year-old ng 1 million face amount. Of course, 20 years old will have a cheaper premium than the 50-year-old, okay? Death benefit is the amount that the beneficiaries will receive upon the death of the insured. Pag namatay itong si insured, makukuha ni beneficiaries ito ang death benefit. Maturity benefit naman is the amount paid to the insured if he outlives the protection period. Okay, so let's say until 80 years old lang, but if he lives beyond that, then, or up to that point, makukuha itong MB. Okay? Living benefit, as I've said kanina, doon sa previous slide, okay, it can be fund value, health insurance, it can also be dividends, mga depende sa performance ng company. So ito yung minsan it can be added to your, it can be reduced to your premium, it can be paid to you in cash. So may iba't ibang option siya. Sa VUL naman, which we'll discuss later, itong living benefit can include the cash or the fund value of investments. Okay, so next, there are three major types of life insurance. The traditional, the VUL, and the group life. VUL can also be called investment-linked life insurance. So let's start with traditional. It's called traditional because it's a concept that has been long established. Wala pa yung the second and the third, hindi pa nag-exist. Traditional has already been there. This is the first concept na talagang nag-exist sa mundo, no? And then its main purpose is to cover risk. It follows the most basic design. Kung ano lang talaga yung skeletal concept ni life, ito yung talagang tinatarget ni traditional, the classic one. So it insures you with benefits corresponding with fixed premiums. So parang I can relate this to car insurance. So you pay and then you have the benefit of the coverage. And then it's also often shortened as TRAD, no? Pag may narinig kang TRAD sa mga advisors, minsan tinatawag siyang ganito. And then the advantage, or the types of this could be term, whole life, endowment. Sorry for the typo. And then the special types, ito yung mga later na, mga recent lang na lumabas na mga special types, and I will show you in a while. So, critical illness, ito yung one of the special types ngayon na recent. So, pag na-diagnose ka ng isang sakit or one of the sickness listed, then you get the special type traditional life insurance. Kasi nga yung concept is dati mamatay ka lang, no? But now, this is now the rising trend. Also, we have hospital bills. For me, it's not really a concept of a TRAD, but it's more of the concept of HMO. Okay, but this is still existing in the life insurance realm. And then there also have products that are dedicated to hospitalization. So either by accident or by sickness, then you get a daily reimbursement of your stay in the hospital. Cancer. Okay, there's now a very new one, which is cancer traditional insurance, meaning if you will be diagnosed of one of the listed cancer illnesses, either female or male related, then you get the benefit. And then there's also senior citizen care right now. So it's recognizing the importance of the to protect the aged or the seniors. So one of the highlights of this is it lists down the most common illnesses that senior citizens in the Philippines are being diagnosed of. So once you are diagnosed, or once your parents or grandparent is diagnosed, then you get the the benefit or the face amount. One thing lang, because the insured here is ano na, advanced in age na. Let's say I think it starts with 50 in some insurers, 50 or 45 and above. Then you have to expect that the premiums will be a bit higher then. So just going back to a little bit, the pros or the advantages of traditional is that it is concentrated coverage. Kung ano talaga yung target mo, that yan yung babayaran mo. So as what I mentioned kanina, cancer or critical illness or senior. Another benefit is that it's not affected by market downturns. Okay, so as let's say may pandemic and then biglang bumaba yung economy, let's say may financial crisis, it won't be affected. Your values, the fund values, etc. won't get red. And then the disadvantages would be if nothing happens, usually you will not get any. So this is true with term, no? Parang ano lang, parang car insurance lang. You pay let's maybe 10,000, 8,000 a year, but then if your car does not incur any accident, then goodbye 10,000. Parang ganun. But there are some alterations or variations now that there are cash dividends, okay, such or other savings component to that, okay. And then increasing premiums as you age. Well, this is true to all kinds of life insurance. But dito mafe-feel mo talaga na na nagbabayad ka ng higher as the years go by kasi nga you're just paying for that coverage. So unlike mamaya sa investment na para you can have this steady payment every time, every period, and then pwedeng mag-steady lang siya all throughout the time. Another is you cannot take a loan or you cannot withdraw out of it. What you have put in is just there, okay? No fund value. So the types of traditional insurance are term, which is the cheapest. This is the most basic and elemental coverage. And then the whole life, usually yung term kasi it covers for the next year you pay another for that year, or the next 5 years it goes higher, more expensive. For the whole life, it is valid for the rest of your life. Sa term naman, it's relative equivalent sa car insurance, as what I've said. It provides protection only for a specific period. And then it's also known as term protection, okay? And then it goes higher, and that's called natural premium. Sa whole life naman, it's valid for the rest of your life. Pay premiums as long as you live, usually. But it can also be limited. Tinatawag natin yung limited whole life. It can be paid at, let's say, few decades or few years, but also expect that the premiums will get higher. Okay, it pays a certain percentage of the face amount in case of death of the insured during the span of his lifetime or up to age 100. So that's why it's called whole life, because it covers until age 100. So for example, when your policy covers until age 100 and the insured dies at 50, then the death benefit is the percentage of the guaranteed face amount. So yan naman ang concept. Whole life usually has a savings component in the forms of cash, dividends, or endowment benefits. And that's why you have to expect that it is a bit more expensive than the term. Next is endowment. Endowment, it pays a percentage of the face amount in case of death of the insured during the coverage period, or insured gets the living benefit in case he or she survives at the end of the coverage period. Just like whole life, endowment life has a savings component. it has non-forfeiture and dividend options too. So let's say until 60, 80, pag na-outlive, you get the endowment. And then as I've said kanina, these are the special types. Okay? Let's go now to the VUL, or it's a variable universal life, but it can also be defined as variable unit linked life insurance. Investment linked. Why? It's because ang insurance na ito, yung bayad mo, ang premiums mo, part of it goes to investments with the goal of investing it, growing it for future use. So goal is not just to protect you, it hits two birds or multiple birds in one stone. Its goal is to pump up your funds. It's just unlike putting it in the bank only, why not put it into investment instruments where there is a possibility, a chance for it to rise up. Okay, this is an investment linked also insurance because it of the goals that you can achieve through it. You accumulate, okay, funds, for example, child's college education. So of course, kung nagsisave ka lang na nagsisave, well, the bank savings would, although it does not decrease, but inflation is eating up your money's value. And then it can be, you can put the funds here for your future business. Okay, and then ito talaga yung one of the top goals of VUL is retirement. It's because you don't put money in the stock market and then expect to get it next week or next month or next year. Your really main goal there is to invest it for the long term. So depends on your goals, but usually if you check equity or index funds, then these are placed, your money is placed in companies that are projected to grow in the long term. Okay, such as blue chips or yung mga index stocks or companies na nag-lead sa ating index or sa ating stock market. Such, for example, would be SM, Ayala. We can also have others like the mining companies, conglomerates such as Mega World. I think AC, Ayala Corp, GT Cap, and those things. Okay. Then you can also place here for your dream home. So it most likely be, if you are at a 20-ish age now, then around 20 years or 10 years, depends. And then dream vacation. So this is a little bit shorter. This one is also shorter. The longest is retirement. So lagay mong pera sa VUL depending on your goal. So meron din mga VUL na tinatawag nilang My Future, or at some point you define a certain year in the future, and then pagkuha mo ng VUL, lalagay siya ang pera mo sa mga aggressive na investments which has a higher risk but higher chance to grow. But as that year approaches, it is being transferred to conservative. So let's say your child will reach college at the year 2040. So ilalagay siya muna sa aggressive ang pera mo, and then as you drop money through the years, and pag 2035 gradually ilalagay siya sa conservative kasi dadating na yung year na kakailanganin mo na yung pera. VUL path, as what I said, the accumulation technique is achieved through money plus time plus compound interest. So this is the formula. It takes time. It's slow in a sense. It's not easy money. It's risky, but at the end there's this possibility of yield and reaching your goals faster or nearer at hand. Okay, so VUL pros or advantage is you can have these add-ons. Marami siyang pwedeng ilagay na benefits such as hospitalizations. Kung ano yung na-mention ko kanina sa special types, it can also be added here. Hospitalization, reimbursement, critical illness, dismemberment. Okay, and then here you can have the chance to beat inflation. Okay, and then professional fund managers. So instead of spending your time monitoring the stock market, researching um, these graphs or studying the business columns, you entrust it to people who are devoting their time sa pagpalago ng pera. So they have these stop timers, they have these meters, metrics, they have these tools that they can just use anytime and transfer the funds anytime or maneuver these funds so that you can achieve your goals as what you have determined them to be. Okay? So meron namang mga experts na mag-handle niyan. Kaya lang, of course, magbabayad ka in the sense na mababawas yan sa charges, through the charges. And then another advantage is premium holiday. You can choose to have this period of rest or until when ka lang. Okay? Diversification. Well, if you put all your money to business or to your business, then that might not really be successful. We don't know. Or if you put your money to real estate or to a person, a child, well, dapat medyo diversified ka. Okay, so dito, diversified siya in a sense that it can be placed through different industries, no? It can be malls, it can be consumer goods, it can be in the stock market, real estate, mining. So, pag mag-down yung mining, hindi ka talaga mapupuruhan kasi nandun na may humahatak naman siya. Katulad ngayon sa pandemic, the malls can be down, but the technology stocks, let's say in the US, the technology stocks splurge up. Okay. Liquidity, another benefit is that anytime you would need the money, you just have to fill up the form of withdrawal slip or withdrawal of your funds, and then wait a little few days, and then the money can be delivered to you or to your account. The disadvantages is what I mentioned kanina, ito yung with charges. Of course, we are using the services of the fund manager, so there will be finance charges. And most likely, yung mga charges na malaki ay nasa first 3 years lang naman. So, yung mga babayaran mo for the, let's say for the first year, will be yung mapupunta lang sa fund value mo, depende sa company, it can be just around 30 to 50% lang, no? 70 to 50% will really go to the charges, initial charges, the policies, to the insurance company, to the agent, etc. But after 3 years and above, or 5 years and above, halos lahat na ng mga hinuhulog mo will be to your fund value na. Okay? Except na lang pag dumating ka uli sa age ng senior, lalaki uli yung charges. Okay? So as what we mentioned kanina, hindi naman halos lahat ng insurance instruments will have a rising cost of insurance charge as you age. And then another is not guaranteed growth. Hindi guaranteed na pag nalagay mo rito, guaranteed na 6%, 7%, 10% per year. Okay, yung makuha mo. The good thing is that it can be higher than 10%, but it can also be lower than 10%. That's the nature of index. That's the nature of investments. Except na lang pag sa bond, no? Sa bonds naman, hindi rin siya guaranteed, but conservative lang, no? Lower growth, but but if there are times of risk or crisis, hindi rin siya ganun ka grabe na apektuhan. It's because as some of you may not know yet, bonds are yung mga usually mga pinapahiram, no, pinapa-credit. So these are surely to be paid, unlike sa mga stock market or index na may mga uncertainties. Okay? You may outperform. Isa sa mga disadvantage is pag investor ka, magaling ka sa investments, negosyante ka, may time ka, may other means ka, so baka hindi ka masisiyahan sa result ng fund manager's performance and your VOL as well. Okay, think this is the third, no? The third one is group insurance. This one is similar to the traditional, but this one is more of a directed to bracket certain community that shares the same denominator, or shares the same factor, or quality or criteria, such as company, such as school. Okay, so but most likely it's company or family. So meron tayong mga group insurance for the whole, let's say co-op, no? I-insure mo lahat ng employees dyan, that mababawasan yung kanilang sweldo every year of an amount of 800, let's say, or 2,000, and then they will be covered with 2 million pesos. Okay, so that when an employee will die, then the co-op or the corporation will not draw from its pockets the money to be paid as an abuloy, or a death help, or a burial help assistance to the bereaved family. Okay, so it covers a category, a cluster under a common denominator. Protects the company's assets. So kung ikaw ay owner ng isang business or corporation or isang partnership or even a sole proprietorship, group insurance can help. It's because cheaper siya, hindi siya ganoon kamahal as per the individual computation. Meron nga tayo as low as 1,000, 2,000 a year for each employee. Okay? Cheaper equivalence. Yan. So, what are the best life insurance companies in the Philippines? Ito yung karamihan or usual na tanong ng mga nagko-consider kumuha. So, the best answer is to give a criteria, okay, in order to determine. So, just like pageant, just like sports, just like any other artistic competitions, there must be qualifying or quantifying criteria. So I would give these three: company stability, customer experience, and affordability. And this will quantify or qualify. So dito, it's quantification sa stability, I would say. It's because meron tayong quantitative basis, which is numerical or digits. So paano natin ma-measure ito? We refer to Insurance Commission, or the agency of the government, which where each company reports every year. Okay, so to know, I have a dedicated post for this. Just click on the link below. I will post there the best companies based on the company stability criteria. Hindi ko sasabihin dito sa video because every year it will change, no? So baka sabihin ko si ganito yung top, baka next year hindi na siya. I would like this video to somehow remain through time. So this company stability is composed of these, no? Revenue, company assets, net profit, and benefit releases. So meron pang iba, but these four are so far the top or the most essentials. So revenue, ito yung money na pumapasok sa company, primarily because of the premium payments ng mga client. But just like in the basic common sense, hindi ibig sabihin na pag maraming pumapasok sa bulsa mo, ikaw na yung winner. Hindi rin. Kasi baka marami ka ring utang, marami ka ring or wala kang assets. So another is company assets. Yung mga machines, yung mga building na pagmamay-ari nila. Net profit, ito na yung revenue minus liabilities or expenses. So ito yung kumbaga difference na which is net profit. Benefit releases, magkano na yung mga naibigay nila sa mga policy holders or insured people nila. So this shows their commitment also. So as I mentioned, yung itong stability will be given under the link. So just click that and see per year what is the best insurance company on that criteria. Customer experience, I would say this is qualitative. It's because it's subjective to the experience of each individual on the person-to-person basis. So how you perceive their marketing. Sino ba yung artista na ginagamit nila? Si Piolo ba? Si Sara ba? Si Mateo ba? So ito yung mga qualitative, yung mga billboard nila, yung how they market, how they portray, convey the message through YouTube. So ano yung mga style nila. So signing up, what's your experience? What will be your experience with the advisor or the agent? Delivery, how will your queries be answered? And then servicing of policy. After you signed up, how will the experience be? So hindi ko po ito masasagot on behalf of a company. I would answer this based on what you will be experiencing. So you can build your own answers to that. But as a policyholder and as an advisor, I do my best as an advisor to make this as best as I can. Okay? Responsiveness also. And then affordability, I would not really compute, but it's a quantitative a criteria. What you have to do here is to compute the premium per face amount unit. So for example, you ask the process, the methodology of this is to ask, for example, a proposal of just a term lang para flat, para walang masyadong mga add-ons. So let's say term insurance of 1 million pesos for a 28 years old male, for example. So kukuha ka kay company A, kay company B, company C, and company D ng 1 million term life insurance, 1 million face amount. That's flat, okay? That's all. So, how much si company A per year, company B, company C, and company D per year? So, compare it, just juxtapose it with each other, and then you will see who is more affordable and who is more, or which is more expensive. Okay, so now you can have these factors and decide for yourself. But again, I would say na hindi ibig sabihin pag mura na siya, doon ka lang bumbase, because you can also have this notion na baka yung service naman yung compromised. Baka yung app naman nila yung ma-compromise. Kasi one factor also you have to consider, hindi ko yata nabigay, but I think it belongs here sa customer experience, is yung online app, no, that you can check your account online, you can see if lapse ka na, you can see how much yung needed mo. So I would say in behalf of sa Sun Life, I am a policy holder, I can check my account online, how much na yung fund value ko sa VUL, how much yung insurance face amount ko, sino yung beneficiaries ko. I can log in anytime 24/7 and see the details of my policy. Okay? So, factors for life insurance approval. Ano ba yung mga ko-consider na i-approve ka or disapprove ka? So, here are some of the top. Age, number 1. Of course, given na, as what I said earlier, na pag the earlier you get or sign up for life insurance, the cheaper and the more possible you will be approved. Why? Of course, it's because older people, or as you age, you will be more riskier. You will no longer be an asset, but you will become more of a liability to the company. So instead, you will have these higher premiums to compensate. And then occupation. So pag yung occupation mo ay riskier, considered riskier, then you might not be approved, or you may have a higher or more expensive premiums. Moral hazard. Ito naman usually sa AMLA, anti-money laundering. Pertains to the morality of what you're doing, of your job. Does it include mga shady experiences or shady occupation? So this boils down sa experience or sa report naman ni advisor, as much as his knowledge with the person is concerned. Sa health naman, of course, it's so may mga declarations dyan na ano yung earlier diagnosis mo, ano yung mga height mo, what's your height or weight, or your illnesses before, or na-disapprove ka na ba before? If you do cigarettes, if you drink, how much? So, yan yung mga basic questions. Hazardous pursuits, usually hindi siya tinatanong, but this can be a factor. Let's say if your hobby is bungee jumping, skydiving, dangerous activities, then you might not be approved as well. Substance abuse, of course, smoker people are more expensive. Okay, alcoholics also. Family history, meron minsan mga questionnaires sa questionnaire, it's being asked, is your mother alive? Is your father alive? If they're alive, what's their health condition? If they died, how old did they die? And what is the cause? Okay? Workplace or residence condition. May mga lugar na hindi ina-approve kung doon ka nagtatrabaho. So, may mga clients ako na somewhere in the Middle East, some in Asia, some in Latin America na hindi in-approve. Some in Europe. It's because they are considered as substandard risk by the insurance company. Financial status, of course, na meron dyang how much is your annual salary. Because pag kukuha ka ng policy na let's say 80% na ng sweldo mo kukunin niya per month, well, that's questionable. It's because, number one, paano mo masusustain? And number two, baka may iba ka pang source. Okay? And then insurable interest, this usually pertains to sino yung insured, usually mga politicians, no? And who will be your relatives na bibigyan, okay? Indicate their name. So if it rings a bell, then it's called an insurable interest. So for example, tendencies, mga people who are more at risk because of politics, or it's because of their status or something, no? So yan yung mga underwriting considerations. So foundations of finance, if you're about to consider these things, consider also the foundations first. So wag lang basta-bastang mag-decide sa insurance. You also have to consider these so that you can have a more stable financial life. So dapat po straight to but I just place it's parang parang ladderized lang. But it can be also be pillars so that you are building a foundation, a cornerstone that is stable, living stones, something like that. So first, you have to really establish an income. Okay, through education, secure a skill. So either through you finish as a doctor or an engineer or college, or skills. Let's say you have this gig, or you have this talent, and you have this stable cash flow first, or portfolio, or proofs of income. Employment, okay, business. So first, ito talaga yung talagang dapat mong ma-establish muna. And then I would say you can sabay these two. Pwede mong gawing pagsabayin yung emergency funds and life insurance. So as you have this income, you set aside some to emergency and some to your insurance. And can be bank savings, cash on hand, or G-Save, Maxi Savers, and mga digital. I would say na not put everything here. It's because we said inflation is also eating up your value. And then life insurance, pag di mo pa ma-afford itong mga private, you can start with SSS and Pag-ibig, since they are quasi public instruments. Pag ma-miss mo yung payments, you can still just resume in the future. Unlike sa mga private, I admit na sa mga private like this, once you stop paying, let's say in 2 years, ma-dissolve na siya, and then you have to reinstate again. So I would suggest you really have to establish your SSS and Pag-ibig. Term life would be the cheapest, as we said, traditional. And then VUL retirement funds, pag gusto mong pagsabayin itong life insurance and investments, you can get the VUL. And then I would say you have to pay off debts. Pag nag-incur ka ng student loans, well, which is hindi masyadong uso sa Philippines. But if you have credit card loans or 5-6 loans na mga 20%, 10%, you have to pay them first. Car loans, of course, mortgage, usually si Dave Ramsey would say this will be the last. Okay, Dave Ramsey's emphasis is always to pay off debts, to destroy your credit cards. But if you don't really believe that, then you can just have a moderate amount of debt. And especially yung mortgage, okay lang na later mo siya ma-fulfill. Health insurance, of course, it's the hospitalization. If you can afford it, just by critical illness or hospitalization, we have separate HMOs, and then prevention as well, like gym or membership to the gym or to some classes, membership to a group. I would also say to membership to a spiritual group like a church, a Bible study group, where you can have this mental preservation, and then sanity. You can have this spiritual wellness of your life. Okay, I would also add PhilHealth here. Of course, there are some issues. Of course, we have known, but you can certainly add PhilHealth here as a long-term in health insurance. Investments, then you can start with Pag-ibig MP2, mutual funds. These are purely investments, stock market, and also business ownership. You can delve our risk there. Okay? So I would really say na huwag kang mag-jump sa investments pag hindi mo pa na-establish yung cash flow mo. Huwag kang mag-jump sa HMO. Paano mo babayaran yan pag wala kang established income? Also, don't start with investments pag wala kang life insurance or some form of insurance, because mawawala lang lahat ng ito pag wala kang insurance. Okay? Pay off debts, of course. Don't incur investments pag nilalamon ng interest yung growth ng investments mo. So, sayang lang, no? Yung exposure. So, what to do next? After you have signed up, what's the best thing to do is to inform your family of insurer and agent. Tell them who is your agent and what is your company. And pag dumating na yung documents, yung insurance policy, keep it to a place where your friends or family know where it is, so that if anything happens, they can just get that and call the insurer of that circumstance or eventualities that happen to you. Decision stage, I would say this starts with the decision na kukuha ka. No? So, calculator first. You have to compute how much you need. Okay? How much face amount you need. So, it usually, meron akong link na ilalagay sa description, how to compute your insurance or life insurance need. Usually, yung needs mo na pag mawawala ka, i-times mo siya sa 1 year, and then let's say times mo siya sa 10 years para yung anak mo, for example, will survive for that period of 10 years. Okay? Also, you consider the amount of time to accumulate funds to achieve the target amount for retirement. So, let's say your target amount for retirement is computin mo yung daily or monthly expenses ng retired person now, and then you multiply that, let's say, to your projected years in retirement. Let's say you assume you will live until 80, so you have 20 years of retirement. So, ita-times mo yung yearly expenses ni retirement, and then you consider also the inflation. Okay? So, the total amount, yan yung ita-target mo to raise for your retirement. And then financial capacity, that's also one of your consideration. So after you have completed your target amount and then your target monthly contribution, you have to compare it or juxtapose it to your capacity now. So yung income mo ba, kaya mong mag-set aside to fulfill these targets? So if not, then you have to adjust calculate your target amount. Or you have to make commitments to increase your income, either by acquiring higher education or starting a new skill or venturing into more promising business. And then you also have to consider your financial responsibility. Maraming mga clients na kumukuha na sila, after nilang kumuha ng insurance, they stop in the middle of the road. It's because they have not considered the eventualities that will happen along the way. So, anticipate mo rin yung mga posibleng mangyari, like yung mga sinusuportahan mo, ganun. Financial goals, as what we've said, can be considered in the calculator. So let's say your target amount for retirement, your target amount for house, or travel goal, or a purchase goal like a car, or education of your child. So you plot that into a timeline, and then you also divide the years to arrive to that goal, and set aside money and put that money into an instrument that yields certain percentage so that that goal will be achieved. Okay, so ang white na ito ay internal stage, meaning it just happens, it can happen inside you or it can write it down. But these green colors are the external executions of that plan. Okay, you do it by overt acts. So you do it by reasonable investigation, such as by contacting an advisor or an insurance company. So I will leave a link below for you to read and possibly contact an advisor or insurance company according to the criteria we have given. And then ask for comparison of quotation. That's when you solicit proposals, okay, and compare it, and then you determine the affordability. And then the orange one would be to sign up, okay, and pay, and the rest would be observing and maintaining that contract or policy of your life insurance. All right, that's all for this day. Thank you very much again. This is Brian, and the basics of life insurance primer for beginners. If you have questions, comment below, please, and I'll try to answer it as best as I can. Thank you and have a nice day.